Howdy. I'm still in Idaho. I'm going to be heading south here in about 10 days. Checking in here. Said I'd throw up catch-ups and videos every once in a while, but if you missed the last video or if you're even following me, I basically have spent about 4 to 5 years posting on 20 different social media sites. It's all been done with a purpose. And about all in, and then 4 of those being video sites. And I do I've been doing about 4 or 5 posts a day for close to 5 years, since COVID started. Basically, as I've said many times in the videos and the posts, information, how I see the world and how I see my truth. Never was there or here now to convince anybody of anything. I don't engage in debate. I just am there to share my truth, and if you're interested, you can follow, and anyone that wants to know more, I'll be there with open arms. Continuing. But I just decided about a week and a half ago that I was just going to stop that. It was inevitable. I was just thinking about stopping that because we're kind of in a new phase of things happening, of everything I've talked about in the world, United States here, politics, all this disclosure. We're having a lot of disclosure and a lot of exposure on things, and things are getting crazier and crazier. I sound like a broken record, but that's it. So the days of me posting basically 5 or 6 posts a day of it pretty much done. I'll be posting stuff, informative things, all as long as I'm on this mortal coil. But I'm pretty much wrapped up with that. It was a lot of work, and it served its purpose for what it was, but also I had started it as a purpose for all the different websites, social medias are on Facebook, I got kicked off Twitter, but Truth Social, Gab, all these ones that I'm on, basically all those posts are 5 years of encyclopedia of knowledge. So when things are coming out as the truth is being revealed and people are starting to understand that they've been lied to about everything, and people like me or us have been trying to show people that through the smoke, I basically have a whole time reference thing from the beginning of COVID on many different levels forward. So now I'm just starting to reference people that are interested to learn more of whatever happens to them. They're starting to wake up. I said, well, go back and start looking at my posts on Facebook, Gab, Tumblr, all those sort of things, and educate. So they're basically self-help guides, and I did that on purpose so that it's a compendium of things for people to reference back on and start learning on their own paths. And as I continue forward, I'm going into a more different phase. I'll be talking more about that as I go, but we're in the midst of everything I've talked about, and it's going to be accelerating. So I say all the time, look at the big picture. Try to be objective on everything, because if you get into that place where you're accepting anything, where you're accepting any truth, even though your gut may, from the mainstream, from whatever side of the party, even though your gut may be telling you, it doesn't seem to be right, but for instance, in politics, if you're just accepting things because as long as it's not that orange guy, you're willing to overlook things and accept things, you can't do that if you really want to move forward, because you're going to be in for some big surprises now and before. People are starting to wake up. And so that's part of why I'm here, and many people like me. So just see the big picture. Use your own inner gut, women's intuition, men's intuition, whatever you want to call it, to guide you. Don't just follow blindly or hate or be in a position of hating someone or something so intensely that it blocks you off for it puts blinders on for anything that may be out of the blue, or things that you can't see coming until it hits you right upside the head. Because now's the time where things are going to hit you right upside the head. It's happening. And also, you can see, many people can see now all the things that people like me, myself, have been posting for 5 years. We were called conspiracy theorists. Well, I just was going through some of my old posts as well as I was taking this break here, and pretty much 90% of what I've been posting, COVID and all the other levels, has come true. It's out in the open now. Now, I don't say that to pat myself on the back, and I'll never say I told you so. I've said all the time that I'm here with open arms for anybody that wants to learn further, that have woken up. But the conspiracy theorists are people basically who question everything, and I've said this before. I've always questioned everything, always questioned the narrative, and when you dare speak against the mainstream narrative, especially these last few years, you're labeled a racist, conspiracy theorist, off your marbles. And that's okay, it doesn't bother me, but a lot of it, most of it has come true and will continue because we do the research, we dig down, and most of us are able to sort of see the balance out there and the truth. So, the social media sites, a couple of things that are happening right now is, since I've kind of got off my everyday postings, is Biden stepped out from the presidential campaign. Now all focus is on Kamala, and it's quite spectacular to watch the mainstream news really pivot on this because I'll point out a reminder, when she was handpicked by Obama to be the presidential candidate in 2020, she was so disliked by everybody, including her own party. Different polls showed she's one of the most disliked politicians in American history, that she dropped out of the presidential race in 2020. She hasn't really done anything since. I mean, she's saddled now with the Biden Build Back Better platform. She can't run away from that. The open borders, today's Monday, we're having a stock market crash and a financial crash. But the point is, if you think Kamala Harris, in just 2 weeks, according to the news, in just 2 weeks, all of a sudden she's this woman that walks on water and the best politician and best leader in the history of mankind. I have oceanfront property to sell you here in Idaho. They're just working overtime to try to hope that everyone forgets about her past, what she has not done, and trying to distance themselves from the Biden fiasco that is the administration. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens. And I've said this too before, so keep your eyes wide open and see how this all unfolds. Many of us know how it's going to unfold, but how it unfolds the next few months, this is all part of that exposure. You're going to see it. Even to the point of when the Democratic convention comes, they might try to pivot her out because people understand that she has a lot of skeletons in her closet, and bring in someone like Hillary or Michelle Obama. So keep your eyes open. We'll see where that goes. We've got, don't believe everything you see, and I say that all the time. Nothing is what it seems. Do the research for your own good. Because we're in unprecedented times. Nothing will ever be like it was. And I've said to many people, especially the last few months, you can't go back to the way it was. Oh, well, this Democrat or this Republican, or they said this or they said that. They should have picked this. Nothing is ever going to be the same again. All the institutions that we know, the way things we do on many different levels are breaking apart, and we're forging new directions with a lot of things, including everything, history, all sorts of things are coming. We have an unvetted border. I've said this before too. A border, people coming in illegally across our southern border. It's not a question of if, it's when we're going to have some big event of some sort of. We're already having a lot of small events with illegal aliens, rapes and murders and those things happening like they're happening in England. The press is kind of keeping that quiet, but there's going to be a terrorist event at some point. It's inevitable. They're streaming across the border. So keep your eyes open for that. We hope that it's not going to be a lot of human loss when that happens. But and today, as I mentioned, the financial stock market is some shenanigans happen in Japan, which is doing a ripple effect around the country, around the world, and the stock market's plummeting. We are going to have a financial collapse. I've mentioned this before. How big it's going to be is the big question, but it's all part of the exposure of a financial reset. Trump has talked about embracing Bitcoin. So for us, a lot of us that have been involved in the cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, we've known that it's going to be part of our future. Just where it goes is the big question, but there's a lot of good coming down the road. But just be very careful and watch what's happening, because the petrodollar, which is the American dollar, the way it's been operating for the last 50, 60 years, it's going to go away. The dollar is going to lose value. We're going to have some sort of financial reset. The Fed will be null and void. There's a lot of things that are going to happen, but it has to happen to make things right again and make the people of the United States, us normal citizens, whole again, because we're basically been debt slaves. There's a lot of things that are against us. You pay taxes for everything, and this is a longer story for another time, but there's going to be a lot of changes coming down the road. So maybe even we may be having alien stuff come up here real soon. So the things to look out for over the next couple of weeks, and I will do these videos occasionally, is the Democratic Convention. Watch how that's handled. Watch the debate between Trump and Kamala. Keep an eye on Biden. Watch them trying to push the COVID thing again. Southern California, I follow the LA Times. They're still trying to do it, but nobody's really cares or paying attention to that anymore. And just false flag events or big events that are just going to keep us distracted. There's a lot of things that are going to try to keep us distracted from other things that are going on. Just as I've said before, try to keep your grounding, your center, live your life the best way you can live it. Fear is not going to do you any good. Just try to learn as much as you can. There'll be people like us talking about all this. And then, of course, the election coming up is going to set precedent for a lot of things. So hang in there. Enjoy the rest of your summer. I'll check in with these when it's worthwhile. But other than that, I'm going back to enjoying my life. I'll talk to you later. Bye.